My name is Elena. I'm 24 now, but this story begins when I was just 17. Growing up, it was always me and my mother, Rachel. My father had walked out before I could even speak, and my mother carried the weight of the world alone. She worked 2 jobs just to make sure we had a roof over our heads and food on our table. Despite her hardships, she never gave up, on herself or on me. When she met Daniel, everything seemed to change. He was tall, composed, well-read, and financially secure. He was in his late 40s, well-dressed and polite. Unlike the men my mom had known before, Daniel was consistent and charming. He brought laughter into our home and flowers into her life. I remember the first dinner we all shared at our house. He complimented my mother's cooking, asked about my grades, and made me feel like I was seen, but in a respectful way. Or at least that's what I thought at the time. Daniel moved in just after my 18th birthday. They got married the following spring. My mom seemed happier than I'd seen her in years. Daniel was helpful, attentive, and often told her how lucky he was to find her. At first, I felt like I was finally living in a real family. We had dinners together. Daniel came to my graduation. He gave me a necklace as a gift and called me his daughter by choice. But gradually things began to feel off. He started noticing my clothes more. He'd say things like, "You've grown up so beautifully," or, "If I were younger, I'd be fighting the boys off you." It was subtle, nothing overt, but it made me feel strange. I'd shrug it off. I told myself I was just being sensitive. After all, he'd never touched me. He never crossed a physical line. Not yet. The shift happened slowly, so slowly that I almost didn't realize it. Daniel started sitting closer to me when my mom wasn't around. He'd lean in when he spoke, his breath warm against my cheek. One day, while showing me something on his phone, his hand lingered on mine far too long. Still, I told myself I was imagining things. Why would he act like that? He was married to my mother. He was supposed to be my stepfather. But then came the night I couldn't ignore. My mom had flown out of town for a work trip. I stayed home alone with Daniel. It was just one night, what could go wrong? We had dinner, watched a movie, and I started to head upstairs. He stood in the hallway and blocked my path, not with aggression but with something far more dangerous. Charm wrapped in confusion. "You're so much like your mother," he said, voice low. "But there's something in your eyes that's all yours." I stepped back. He moved closer. His hand brushed my arm, slow, deliberate. "Don't pretend you haven't noticed the connection between us." My entire body froze. I pushed past him and locked myself in my room. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. I didn't sleep at all that night. For days I said nothing. I couldn't. How do you tell your mother the man she loves, the man she believes saved her life, just tried to violate her daughter's trust? But eventually the truth spilled out. I told her everything. Every comment. Every touch. Every look. At first she was silent. Then came the tears. She kept asking me if I was sure. "Are you sure you didn't misunderstand him, Elena?" That question broke me more than Daniel ever could. But my mother is a strong woman. After the initial denial, she found clarity. She confronted him, and like most cowards, he denied everything. He said I was emotional, manipulative, and craving attention. But my mother found something on his phone. Drafted emails to me. Never sent. Pages filled with twisted affection and confessions of feelings he had buried for years. That was enough. She kicked him out that same night. It took us years to rebuild. My mom blamed herself. She apologized every day for months. She cried when she thought I couldn't hear. But I never blamed her. She was a victim too, of trust, of charm, of believing in the wrong person. I moved out shortly after and started therapy. It was hard, unpacking that kind of trauma always is, but it was worth every painful step. I learned how to trust again, how to protect myself, how to stop apologizing for my own intuition. Daniel was a chapter in my life, not the whole book. Why am I telling this story? Because there are girls out there right now sitting in silence, feeling the same discomfort I once did. Maybe it's a stepfather, a friend of the family, a teacher, or someone they're supposed to trust. I want you to know, if someone makes you feel unsafe, you have the right to speak. Your body is yours. Your boundaries are real. And you are not crazy. You don't need physical proof to be believed. You don't need a bruise to justify your pain. The way someone makes you feel, that is valid. If this story spoke to you, I need you to do 3 things. First, speak up. Whether it's to a friend, a parent, a counselor, don't keep your pain locked inside. Secrets grow in silence, but healing begins the moment you share your truth. Second, support others. If someone trusts you enough to tell you their story, believe them. Hold their hand. Be the anchor they need when their world is spinning. And third, stay with us. Subscribe to this channel. We share real stories, not just to entertain but to empower. To let survivors know they're not alone. To let women know their voice has power. That their truth matters. Like this video. Share it. Comment below if you've ever felt like your voice was too small to be heard. Because here we will hear you. And remember this, you are strong. You are valuable. And you are never, ever alone. More stories are coming soon. Subscribe. Stay strong. And never let anyone rewrite your story.